When I started this farm, it wasn't to make money. It was to create something of value for the community. And so what's most important is that it is carried on beyond our ability to farm. The Riverhill Farm started in 2001, and at that time really preceded the local food movement. I turned 61 and really haven't had that many opportunities to do things other than simply work 12-hour days, 7 days a week for the last 15 years.
We got tired, we got lucky finding someone in Antonio and Dalen.
Well, I came up here to Riverhill the first time probably about 9 years ago. I was an apprentice with Soilborne Farms, and they do farm tours as part of that. So came up to see the farm and met Alan and Joe.
I was immediately impressed by him, and over the years I've crossed paths with him, more or less subtly each year saying, so what are your plans for next year?
About 3 years ago, I was ready to move on, to make a change in my life. I asked Alan if there might be an opportunity here.
The worst thing you can do as a farmer is be predatory on someone else's employees, and so I always wanted to be appropriate in that regard. So when Antonio expressed an interest, I realized that given the length of his experience, that I needed to create a position that would be substantial for him.
I came up with my partner Dalen a couple weeks later and spent the night with Alan and Joe, had some good conversations, and we lined up sort of a plan of me coming up here and working as a farm manager for Alan and learning all the ropes.
We created the position that didn't exist before, a farm manager. It was a great opportunity over a 2-year period for him to learn everything about the farm, including the books. You could say that in farming, many are called and few are chosen. There wasn't any particular timetable to the process, but at the end of 2 years, it was apparent that Antonio had the depth and serious-mindedness that is really necessary to run a complicated farm like this one.
We started working on a lease for me to take over the farm operations from them so that they can pursue other interests and opportunities, and I can work for myself for the first time on a farm.
I think it's really important to acknowledge the extraordinary assistance that California Farm Link provided us in this transition. They worked with us on the language and terms of the lease, and then worked with Antonio to refine it, and then brought us all together, and we ended up with an agreement that is really solid.
Just to see the farm continue. We've seen kids grow up coming here every week, and we don't want that to die or to end with us.
To be able to lease this farm with the markets, the equipment, the customers, all intact and bundled up in the lease in such a way that it was really a turnkey operation. That's a transition model that we'll probably see more and more of as farmers recognize that selling a farm isn't the only option, because there are tremendous risks in selling that the farm will not be perpetuated.
There's no pension fund for a farmer. There isn't anything to rely on. Many are forced to sell their land as the only way to retire. And so they just keep going. There needs to be these kind of new models where leases and other vehicles towards retirement to help people like us find their way to retirement with a sort of security and dignity.
California FarmLink is a nonprofit organization based in Santa Cruz. They operate throughout Northern California. They provide loans, land mortgages, succession arrangements to farmers throughout Northern California with a view towards increasing the number of organic sustainable farms that are viable and facilitating the transfer from one generation to the next of working farms to ensure that land stays in agriculture.
You know, the Native Americans knew that. You don't own the land, you just take care of it till the next people can pick it up.
There are people who are our customers that we love. And there are many customers of ours who express their love for us. And if anything sustained us over all the years, through all the hard work and the uncertainty, it was that love. And so to develop relationships around doing what we do best, which is to grow food, and ensuring that the members of our community have enough good quality food to eat, has been what has sustained this farm, and of course is what is sustaining this community. You know, it isn't that the farm is economically viable. It's that the farm has sustained us emotionally, physically, spiritually through all these years. And now with this succession, we have the opportunity to pass that whole complex of emotions to someone else.